A romantic weekend away up in the snowy mountains with plenty of fish caught. Libby sitting by the fire. The biggest trout that I have caught, let alone even seen. Pretty cool stream right there. I just caught 2 brown trout. And then look here. That's what I'm going home to right now. That's what I'm going home to. Snowball fights, emus, wild emus, cutting wood, and plenty of more. This is actually Libby catching her first ever trout on a fly rod, and she absolutely nails it. But we start off at our actual cabin, which is on a different level. This is a trout stream just in front of the cabin. I'm talking like 25 meters from the cabin. It's next level. Me and Libby go exploring, and I find this big piece of ice because it's cold as, guys, and I decide to smash it on my head, only to realize it cuts like glass. So I actually end up cutting my head. And I'm dead serious in this video right here. I'm like, holy shit, I'm done. But just a quick tour of the cabin. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's got a fireplace. It's got one of those wood fire ovens, which is phenomenal. We use it later on. And just all sorts of other cool stuff. So it's really awesome. But we go out exploring. We find this little patch of snow. And the first thing I do is just nail Libby, It's too easy. Well, I finally did it, guys. The biggest trout of my life. Biggest trout I've ever caught. That's right, they put it on display for me. And when I say Libby caught her first ever trout in a fly rod, I don't mean just in a fly rod. I mean ever. This is the first time she's ever caught a trout. She's super excited, but does not know what to do. She doesn't realize you actually have to reel in the fish. And it's a brown trout that she's catching it in. It's just in this little lake. And it's a decent-sized brown trout. So it was on this tiny little fly. Didn't know if it would work. This is our first time even trying fly fishing. But she absolutely nails it. And she's never really been that into fishing like I am. But you can see the look on her face. She loves it. This is the next morning, and it's ice cold, but absolutely beautiful when you warm up. We make coffee, and Libby enjoys the rocking chair while I start to get set up for the real fishing, because there's literally a stream right out the front. So I have to be able to use it. So I get all my stuff set up. This is my setup right here. I've got my Yeti bag, got my net that hangs off by a magnet. So cool. Got both my rods, and get some cool footage of just walking past right now. But that's all ice on the grass right there as well. But I get straight into the actual stream, and I really didn't know what to expect. Like, I'm used to like Blue Mountains in New South Wales, not used to the snowy mountains, but it's a beautiful little stream, and I was just casting these little spots that I thought would hold trout. Moved a couple of times, but honestly, not many casts in, and I give it a go from here. I've got one of those little hard plastics on. It's about 3 grams, and bang, straight on. And I'm like, holy shit. I've only caught a couple of brown trout in my life, so I really was hoping with brown trout, and I've got my net this time, so I was pretty happy to use that. And if I didn't have my net, I don't know what I would have done, actually, because I don't know how I would have got that fish in, because I'm in the middle of that stream. But I ended up getting it, and I was over the moon. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but over the moon. Nice brown trout. It's got those red spots on it, which I've seen people catch. I've only caught ones that are big enough. Apparently, they're the juvenile trout that have those red spots on them. So this guy's a decent size. I felt nothing too big, nothing too small. But I released him, and I've got the GoPro now, so it is sick release. Have a look at this. Just swims off beautifully, and you can see it in the water. I can only imagine if it was a bit clearer what it would look like. So I was over the moon. Woohoo! How good is that? You beauty. So obviously from that you can see how excited I am. This is me from a different angle, just actually getting that GoPro footage. Pretty cool stream right there. I just caught 2 brown trout, and then look here. That's what I'm going home to right now. That's what I'm going home to. Beautiful cabin. I think Libby's cooked breakfast, so let's go and let's go and enjoy some breakfast. So the whole morning, Libby's just been working. She actually has an online business, but she's by the fire. She has something cooking in that wood fire stove that I had got going before I actually left to go fish. And she starts drying my shoes because I got them absolutely soaked just before. Fast forward to nighttime, and I've kept that wood oven going the whole time. We're making some beef ribs. They've been cooking for about 3 hours. We add some wine, and Libby makes some pasta as well. The beef ribs go back in the oven for about an hour or 2, and then we'll just have beef ribs and pasta, all while enjoying the football. The next morning, I catch the biggest trout of my life, but I'm going to have to save that for another video, guys. But let me just say, it was on a fly rod, and it was the first time I've ever done any fly fishing in my entire life.